Hello everyone. So in this video, I decided to talk about the current state of the meta in Master Duel and the state of Dragunity in Master Duel specifically as well, and talk about the deck building challenges that the archetype is facing right now. However, before I start talking about all of that, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for all the support that you're giving me, whether on the YouTube channel or on Discord. I really appreciate it. Recently, I've reached like the 500 sub goal, and hopefully, you guys continue to support me. And hopefully, if any of you are new to the channel and you're watching this, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and comment because that helps me a lot and it motivates me to do more content as well, whether it's edited content or this type of content as well. So thank you very much. With that being said, let's get back into the video. So the current meta is really weird because if we check the Master Duel meta website here, just to have an idea about the current meta, like the top 3 decks are dominating the meta right now. Like Purely is dominating the high rank scene. It's not that prevalent in lower ranks, but like in diamond and below, but in high diamond and high diamond plus, Purely is more prevalent because players there like know how to pilot the deck a little bit better than in plat or below. Kashtira and Dragonlink as well. Like Kashtira is popular by default, and Dragonlink is gaining popularity because Labyrinth is gaining more popularity, and Tournament is somehow still viable, and branded Despia as well, and those decks really lose hard to Dragonlink. So yeah, so when these decks do well, Dragonlink is automatically gonna do well as well. So that is that. And if you notice that the top 3 decks, like Purely, Kashtira, and Dragonlink, have one thing in common, which is they all have one boss monster that is very annoying to play against and very unfair. Like it's very obnoxious to play like against Moral End or Noir or Rizehard, right? Like they don't promote interaction. It's always just you either have the out or you lose, especially going second. Like the problem is always going second. Like going first, you can put up a board that these decks cannot play through. Maybe the only deck that can possibly play through your full interruptions are Dragonlink, most of the time. And even then, like Dragonlink needs to have a lot of gas to play through your interruptions. So that is that. So going first is not a problem. Going second, however, is the problem. And when you go second against these cards, against these decks, when their win condition is basically revolves around one boss monster that is pretty much a tower, it's very frustrating to lose because you know you didn't lose because you misplayed, but you lost because you didn't draw the out, and that's frustrating. And that's why the current state of the meta in Master Duel is kind of like stale and boring, to be honest. So yeah, like I don't like this current meta. Like I hope they ban stuff in the next ban list, especially Purely, because Purely is really hard to play against. So yeah, I don't like gameplay where the whole point of the game is to just get rid of one card, like the boss monster, and then play basically, right? Like I don't like that. I want interactive gameplay. I don't want to just sit there and wait for the out, you know? So that is that. So that's my 2 cents on the meta. Like it's kind of boring. You face the same decks over and over again. There is not a lot to them. Like it's always the same game plan. Draw the out, use the out, and then combo. That's it. Like it's kind of boring. And the thing is once you out those boss monsters, there is not much to those decks basically. Like Purely, if you out Noir, there is nothing else to the deck. You out Noir, that's it. The deck is pretty much fragile, right? You Kaiju the Noir or you Herald the Noir, that's it. You can OTK through that, no problem. Kashtira, same thing. You out Rizehard, you can play, no problem. Maybe you have to deal with one Fenrir at best, right? Dragonlink, you out Boral, and what else? Like they have maybe a Bestial in hand, maybe Savage, maybe IP in the best case scenario. Like that's playable, right? So it's not really healthy for the game, these type of decks that only summon one boss monster that is pretty much at towers and they sit on that towers and they win automatically if you don't draw the out. So yeah. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents on the meta. So let's talk about Dragunity. So let me switch scenes real quick. So Dragunity. So Dragunity has a lot of problems right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's not easy to play, especially second. You already have to play the Maxi package because, of course, you need to counter Maxi. So that's the first mini game that you need to play. And the second mini game that you need to play is the out to the boss monsters that I just mentioned, right? So not only you're forced to play like 9 or 12 cards to just deal with Max C, but now you need to play like 5 more cards or 4 to 5 more cards to deal with the other boss monsters. So basically 15 to 17 cards in your deck are solely dedicated to dealing with 2 cards. That's it. Like Maxi and one boss monster. And that's frustrating in deck building. Like it really is, because in Master Duel with Maxi existing, you need to play these outs, otherwise you have no chance. And in decks like Dragunity that are combo focused, that hurts the consistency of the deck a lot. So you need to play in a way that minimizes like bricking, while also like drawing full combo and drawing the out to Maxi and drawing the out to the boss monster, especially going second. So there is a lot. That's a lot of requirements, right? And that makes the deck more fragile. So that's why like I don't play that many starters in this deck list, because I'm just praying that I draw the like a starter plus a Maxi counter plus like something else if I'm going second. Like it's just that hard to build the deck with Maxi and a counter to the boss monster. So in this particular list, so this is the standard list that I'm testing right now. I'm pretty much playing the Maxi package with Gamma, because Gamma is really good right now against either Maxi or against certain cards in against the meta decks. Something like using Gamma on Rise Heart, for example, when they do the combo with Shangri Era, so you can stop their combo there. So yeah, so besides the Maxi package, I'm playing the Thrust package as well. Very minimalistic, nothing crazy, and I'm just testing it right now. I still don't know if it's good or not, because I'm not drawing these cards. I drew Thrust once and I drew Talent once, and I think I drew Abyss once in like 20 duels or something. It's not a lot, so I don't know if they're good or not. However, when I drew them, they felt nice, especially like the Talent, so they felt nice. The rest of the deck list is quite standard, to be honest. I cut out the Armagram for Nibiru because I felt like Armagram is not doing too much right now, and I prefer to have the Nibiru just in case I draw it with Max C or I open it going second, because not a lot of people are like respecting Nibiru right now, so it can win you games on the spot. So one copy is nice. One Imperm for Thrust going first, and also as a target for Crossout, so nothing too crazy there. The extra deck, however, I decided to try out the Bagooska plus Zeus package. So someone a while ago suggested that I try out Bagooska as a play to counter Maxi, basically. So if I get Maxi, I just go into Bagooska and pass, right? Which is interesting, because not a lot of players can play through Bagooska. However, the problem is that the Bagooska summon is very restrictive, because it's not a dragon, so you need to summon it very early on, and you need specific hands to go into Bagooska. So basically, what type of hand allow you to go into Bagooska? Well, you need access to Ravine somehow, plus a level 4 Wing Beast. So if you have any card that gets you into Ravine, plus a level 4 Wing Beast, you can go into Bagooska, right? So you summon Bagooska in defense and pass. If you have Fenrir with a level 4 Wing Beast, you also can go into Bagooska and pass. In fact, you can go in. You will have Fenrir plus Bagooska basically, right? With Fenrir, if you have a level 4 Wing Beast, you can also go into Bagooska under Draw. So you just special Fenrir, you add Rise Heart. On the add of Rise Heart, they draw you. Now you have Rise Heart plus a level 4 Wing Beast in your hand. So you just special summon the Rise Heart. Now you are locked to Xyz only, which is fine because your goal is to go into Bagooska anyway. You don't use the effect of Rise Heart to go into level 7. You keep it at level 4. And you normal summon the other level 4 Wing Beast in your hand. And you go into Bagooska and pass on Fenrir plus Bagooska. Of course, the Fenrir is negated because Bagooska is in defense. But once you get back your turn, you just switch Bagooska into attack and you play. So Bagooska is basically an anti-maxi measure that gives the opponent 2 draws and gives you another turn at best, right? Because yes, sometimes you can go into Seal's Pass, but Seal's Pass does not do enough into maxi, right? It does not do enough, unfortunately. So Bagooska helps you to survive one more turn in most cases. Some people can play through Bagooska, but most of the time they cannot. Also, because I decided to play Bagooska, I included Zeus as well, because if you play Bagooska, you can go into Bagooska, go in second as well, and just attack, go into Zeus, and wipe the board. This is especially effective against Kashtira, because you can go into Bagooska without caring too much about the effect of a Rise Heart. You attack into something in defense, and you go into Zeus, right? So also Zeus is also good if you draw the talent or thrust to get talent. So if you steal an Xyz monster, you can also go into Zeus as well, like that. So there is ways to go into Zeus, whether through Bagooska, whether through the Master Stolen with talent, or maybe you can go into Atom with like Bestials and go into Zeus like that as well. So the Bagooska Zeus package is interesting. I'm testing it, I'm fiddling with it a little bit here. So far so good, I'm not gonna lie. And actually, let me show you my history with this deck. So real quick. Of course, I'm in Plat right now because I ended last season in Diamond 3 because I did not play that much. Come on, game. So if we see the history here, so like this is like 4 wins and this is like a 9-win streak basically. So 9-win streak and then 4-win streak after that. So what did I lose here? Oh yeah, Mathmech. Yeah, okay, of course. Mathmech going first, classic. So yeah, so the deck is really doing good right now. I recommend playing the standard version right now, not the Kaiju variant, because it's much safer right now. The reason for that is because although the Kaiju variant is more resilient to be in Kaiju and puts up a better board, the steps that you have to go through to make that board are very fragile to a lot of interruptions right now. Also, your opening hand might be bad depending on your luck, because remember, in the Kaiju variant you need to play 3 extra cards in the main deck and 3 extra cards in the extra deck to make the deck work, right? Like you need Steam, Gameciel, and Waterfront in the main deck, and you need AFD, Pisti, and Saryuja in the extra deck. So there are extra cards that you need to add into this list, and like I explained, the deck list is already packed with non-engine to deal with Maxi and to have the out for the boss monsters. So the kaiju variant, like you really need to be lucky to draw like a good hand to play through stuff, right? It could happen, and it's a lot of fun to try to solve the puzzle that you see in your hand, but it's quite taxing on your brain, and it's quite like taxing on time, and it's not really worth it at the moment. I say, even though like Mikanko sometimes shows up in ladder, and the kaiju variant doesn't lose that hard to the Mikanko variant, but yeah. Anyway, so I really recommend playing this deck list. If you don't want to play the this package right here, the thrust package, you can play the kaiju package instead. So what you can do is just cut out the thrust package completely. You can cut out even the Emperor. You can cut out like one Baby Rock, and now you can just play the Wind Kaiju. Like you can play like 2 Wind Kaiju, add Duel, and play 3 Small Worlds, something like this, right? If you want to play 3 Gadarla, you can just cut 1 Legatus and play 3 Gadarla like this. Although I don't recommend it because now you have too many high level cards that you can brick on. It can work like with a little bit of luck, but yeah, it might be better to just play 2 because you can still go into Gadarla with a Small World. Although if you're gonna play the Kaiju package with Small World, I recommend just playing 2 Baby Rock because Baby Rock is really nice in the standard variant specifically because it can come up. So yeah, you can play something like this. I recommend playing the Nibiru because Nibiru is nice. Not a lot of people are respecting it right now. So yeah. So like I said, I'm fiddling with the thrust package. I'm trying out the Bagooska Zeus variant. And so far so good, like you saw in the match history. Another deck I can show you is the Kaiju variant itself. So if you want to play the Kaiju variant, here is a list that you can try out. The only thing that is noticeable in this list is that I'm trying out the thrust package in this list as well, like instead of the Book of Moons, and I'm trying to play like 2 Phalanx and 2 Baby Rock just to up the consistency of the deck and have more options to play basically. Especially the double Baby Rock, sometimes it comes up. There is a random puffin in the deck list because it's a weird extender that can help you go into Saryuja. Also, it's a weird extender that can help you to go into Guider because it's a level 4 Wing Beast with a very easy like summon condition. Like all you need is a once face up spell or trap on the field, like anywhere on the field. So it's pretty nice. Also, there is like this weird play where you can summon it off of Falcon and force out interruption because when you only control Wing Beast, you can quick play tribute 1 Wing Beast to bounce back a face up spell or trap. So this can out floodgates, can out problematic field spells, can out problematic like face up spell or traps, especially spells. So yeah, it's a weird, like it has a lot of application like in theory, but you have to draw it, of course. Or you can search it with Guider if you have like another dragon or wing beast to discard, of course. But it has another application because it is a dark monster, so even if you discard it, you can still use it as fodder to summon a bestial, right? So it's not really dead. It's never dead in your hand. And another thing, still the Kaiju here, the Nibiru, sorry. So the Nibiru here is still good because Maxi, still playing the Maxi package, still play, like you see the problem in this deck list, like you need to play the Maxi package and something to counter the boss monsters as well, so yeah. That's why the deck building is a little bit fragile in this current meta. Like you need starters and you need like everything to counter everything basically, so yeah. In the extra deck, nothing too crazy, like it's a very standard deck, extra deck basically, so nothing to see here. except the puffin that I already like explained. And yeah, so here if you don't want to play the thrust package, you can play the kaijus as well, like the Gadarla as well. Although be careful, because when you give your opponent a kaiju, because you're playing waterfront yourself, they can use their your waterfront with Gadarla. Although Gadarla has an irrelevant effect, like it halves the attack of everything, so it's not that big of a deal because you can still negate it. Yeah. The last deck list that I want to show you guys is the deck list that I used in the Duelist Cup, which can come up in ladder, depending on how people decide to play on a certain day, which is the blind second deck. So basically, this blind second deck is really good against Kashtira and Labyrinth specifically, because they usually don't end on in a gate, right? Unless they hard draw like a D barrier or something. So the game plan is really simple. Go second, blow up the board with Kaijus and Whirlwind by summoning BRD, and then full combo. And this deck list, as you notice, it doesn't play the Kashtira engine. I just have 2 Fenrir here as extra disruption going second. And also for like disruption bait. And also it doesn't play like the bestial package as well. This deck list is a vanilla deck list, like it's a very old deck list, but updated with Kaijus and Kashtira Fenrir, plus the Thrust package and Whirlwind. So the whole point is to break the board, wipe everything, and just OTK through the old combo line with Barca and everything, right? And in the extra deck, I put in Rise Heart and Zeus, because if you're playing against Kashtira, you can simply just talent their whatever XCs they have, make an Rise Heart, attack, go into main phase 2, make a Zeus, and wipe the whole board. You can cut out a Rise Heart if you don't want to. You can play Bagooska instead for those type of games where they make you go first, for example, and they max you or something. You can just go into a Bagooska and pass. Same thing, like if you have Ravine access plus a level 4 Wing Beast, you can do Bagooska. It's even better here because you have an extra Wing Beast in Dukes. So yeah, so you can replace Rise Heart with Bagooska if you want. I prefer to keep the Rise Heart in this particular going second list because Kashtira is still popular. So you have more chance to make in Rise Heart than Bagooska. That's pretty much it. Like this deck list is pretty straightforward. Go second, break the board, and full combo OTK basically. I'm playing 2 Gizarmi here because I specifically don't want to play 1 because it's been a lot of time where I drew the 1 of Gizarmi plus Whirlwind, so I don't have access to the BRD line. So I play 2 just to keep 1 in the deck, just in case, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my whole thought process about the meta currently in Master Duel and the where does Dragunity stand in the current meta. So Dragunity going first is still strong. You can still climb with it. I showed you like the match history. Like I pretty much win whether go first or second. The only problem is that you need right now to play a lot of non-engine just to have a chance to play the Yu-Gi-Oh basically, and that's the problem. That's why I don't like this current meta, because these boss monsters that are really problematic and unfun to play against forces very strict deck building, and some decks can deal with that, but some other decks really struggle to do that. And Dragunity is like in the middle. Like we struggle, but we also can play with it. So it all depends on your opening hand and if you have enough like combo pieces and disruption as well. So it's RNG based now. Like now, the whole format is like RNG based. Like you either drew the out to max C and to the boss monster, or you didn't. If you did, good. It should be an easy win. If not, then you're gonna either struggle or you're just gonna insta scoop, especially if it is purely, because there is no way you're gonna beat purely without an out, right? Like we don't have enough extension in our deck to bait out a 5 plus Noir. Maybe 5 material, it's doable, but 7 plus, it's very hard. Like, we don't have enough extension like Dragon Link to play through a Noir, basically, right? So, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on the current meta, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for not posting an edited video. Like, I'm really sick recently. I don't have the strength to edit anything right now, so I'm pretty much rambling in this video. So I hope at least you got some good information out of this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.